The nurse's hand brushed mine as I turned to follow the doctor out of the room. Soft, quick, deliberate. She didn't look at me, just slipped the folded paper into my palm like it was nothing. I didn't open it until I reached the hallway. Shaky handwriting, torn edge, a smear of something red along the crease. It ended there, abrupt, like whoever wrote it didn't have time to finish the month. My pulse didn't spike. I'd learned how to keep it steady. Years of being the calm one, the patient one, the husband who smiled and let the storm pass. But now the storm was whispering, and it came from a place I thought was safe, from the room where my 6-year-old lay wrapped in wires and quiet machines. I turned to look back through the observation glass. He was asleep, but she, my wife, wasn't. She stood by his bedside, hand on his chest, face tilted down in practiced grief. Too still, too composed. I suddenly remembered she never liked November. 2 days before the accident, she had asked if we had updated our wills. I didn't think much of it then. She'd always been practical, cold in ways that passed for intelligence. But when the car skidded through that intersection, brakes cut, they said, and only he was inside, something splintered in me. She said she had forgotten her purse and went back into the house, left him buckled in, left him to die. That's what kept circling in my head as the nurse's note burned in my pocket like a match still hissing. I hadn't slept in 72 hours. I didn't cry. I couldn't. Instead, I watched her, the way she smiled too easily at the doctors, the way she flinched when I came into the room unexpectedly, and the way she never once looked at our son when she thought no one was watching. I started with her phone. Not her current one, she'd already reset it, but the old backup she didn't know synced to the cloud. Hundreds of messages. One name kept appearing, Dr. Novak. Not our son's pediatrician, not a surgeon, but a neurologist she'd met at some conference 6 months ago. The tone wasn't flirtatious, it was clinical, strategic. You said he wouldn't remember much. Do we proceed after the incident? Insurance won't question it? My skin went cold. It wasn't an affair. It was something else. Worse. They were planning something, and it involved my son's memory. That same night, I visited Novak's office. Empty, lights off, nameplate removed, vanished. At home, I searched her things, every drawer, every file, every innocuous envelope. Then I found it, in a folder marked Trust Documents, a consent form, signed with my name. Forgery, for a neurological trial using memory suppression on minors. Trial date, November 12th. Location, private wing. Our son had never been in a car accident. I didn't say anything right away. I waited, watched her feed him soup in small spoonfuls while he stared off at the wall, glassy-eyed. "Does it taste okay, sweetheart?" she asked. He didn't respond, didn't blink. She smiled anyway. Later, when she stepped out for a call, I sat beside him, held his tiny hand, whispered, "Do you remember what happened before you got here?" Nothing. He looked through me, not past me, through me. I left the printed trial documents on the hospital bed, one paper-clipped to the top, my forged signature highlighted in red. She returned, saw the file. Her face didn't crack, not immediately, but her hands trembled. She reached for the chair and missed. "You weren't supposed to find that." I filed for emergency guardianship the next morning. The hospital's legal team received a formal complaint. The nurse who gave me the note testified quietly, anonymously. Dr. Novak's license was under review before the week ended. But that wasn't the revenge. No, that came later. I walked into the hospital lobby. She was seated in a chair by the window, waiting. She looked up, expectant, nervous. "He'll forget this. He won't remember any of it. That's what the treatment was for." I sat across from her, calm, controlled. "He already forgot one parent." She blinked. "What?" "You." I handed her the paper, a legal order, full custody, restraining terms, hospital ban. She reached out with shaking hands. I didn't let go of the paper. "Run," I whispered, finally understanding the note. Then I let go. I moved us out of the city, somewhere with trees and quiet and no sterile white walls. My son laughs now, sometimes. The sound is unfamiliar, like hearing music for the first time in years. There are gaps in him, shadows where memories should be, but he's healing. And I'm no longer angry. Just emptied, refined. Some nights I still hear her voice in my head. He won't remember. She was right. But I will. And that's what makes me dangerous.